Yeah, check.
I want to invite you to join my husband Lauren, myself, David Hamilton, and a whole team of other people to be together for the DNA. We're looking forward to coming there, having a huge family reunion, and hearing from God together. You don't want to miss it. Be there.
Bangladesh.
আমার নাম কেলেব এবং সাইলাস আমরা
Such an honor to
বাংলাদেশ
be
থেকে
with you. We are going to jump straight into our next session.
আমরা খুব তাড়াতাড়ি আমাদের নেক্সট সেশনে যাব
We have a quick announcement. As you guys all know, this afternoon during lunch, we will be having our lunch with our elders table.
এবং আমাদের আজকে দুপুরে এল্ডারদের সঙ্গে যে টেবিলে বসে আমরা দুপুরের খাবার খাবো
On a round table. So you'll see on your name tag the color and the number of the table.
এবং আপনার নেম ট্যাগে নাম্বার এবং কি রং সেটা বলা আছে
We just ask that you honor the seats and the tables so that we can get to our tables fast and really have time to spend time with our elders, talk about what is happening in our lives and get to know one another.
তাই আমরা চেষ্টা করব যেন ঠিক সময়ে আমরা টেবিলে যেতে পারি এবং একসঙ্গে বসে আমরা শুনতে পারি
And so this session we're going to dive straight in just as I mentioned.
এবং খুব তাড়াতাড়ি আমরা পরবর্তী সেশনে চলে যাব
We're going to hear about what God is doing in the Pacific through YWAM ships, and we're going to go into just hearing about Papua New Guinea.
এবং ঈশ্বর পাপুয়া নিউ গিনি এবং শিপ নিয়ে কি করছেন সেটা আমরা শুনতে যাব
And so it's an honor to invite up Kalafi Moala to come and just lead us through this session. Can we just give him a round of applause?
এবং দয়া করে খালাফি মওলা তার জন্য আমরা স্বাগতম জানাই
Thank you. Just to get us settled down, we have got free blessings to pass around at this time. And if you're not going to settle down by that, we have Papua New Guinea warriors with spears that could come around and try to persuade you. Anyway, we want to welcome you to a presentation that will include telling the stories of mission movements in the Pacific region, and also some of our YWAM stories, as well as recent history. But before that, I want to teach you a word that we need to say together. Help us with those that are still standing to settle down. It's the word Pacifica. Pacifica means the Pacific. It means the greatest continent on planet Earth. It also means that it occupies a third of the Earth's surface. And Pacifica is where the smallest population, but the greatest area, the Pacific Ocean. So I want you to say together, Pacifica. Come on. Again. Oh, not loud enough. Come on. Pacifica. If you're in the airport looking for a Pacific Island person, just shout Pacifica, and they'll come to where you are. The story of the mission movements in Pacifica is a story that is recorded, one of the greatest movements in the history of missions. And today, we have descendants of those ancestors that are in so many countries around the world. 11 countries in Africa, they are Pacific Island missionaries. There are 5 nations of the Middle East where they're Pacific Island missionaries. They're all over Asia, almost in every country. They're in North America. They're in Latin America. They're all around the world. And that's the story of Pacific Island missions that have never ceased to take place to this day. 80% of those missionaries are with YWAM. And the presentation we have is part of that story, but we're going to focus on Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea is a miracle in itself, and we're so excited that our case study for this presentation is focusing on Papua New Guinea. We're going to look at the vision of Lauren Cunningham with the vision of the ships, the twin vision of the ships, as well as the university. But the key question we keep asking, can we really disciple nations? Can we really influence all the spheres and disciple those nations? Please welcome our presentation from Paradise Production. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to come on a journey through the history of missions in the Pacific.
Yes, Lord, I will go.
In the early 1800s, the London Missionary Society sent boats of young missionaries to the Pacific to share the hope of Jesus. Many people gave their lives to further the spread of the gospel in the Pacific. The canoes stopped in Papua New Guinea, but this was not to be the end. Papua New Guinea received the gospel and many shared it through the singing of prophet songs. Over 100 years later, they still sing these songs.
In the Pacific, Tom, the biggest nation where Pacific missions went to was Papua New Guinea. Dean Sherman was in Sydney, and he was putting the word out that Papua New Guinea needs a team, and we needed to send a team from Australia to Papua New Guinea. History reveals there were two people that they sent. You know, there was yourself, and then a girl by the name of Bev Marks, and you guys came in there. I wasn't sure when you first came there whether you were really saved, both of you, you know.
I was good.
And, but Tom, that was how YWAM as a team started in Papua New Guinea.
I had an amazing encounter because 48 years ago I was on a double-hulled canoe. This was a massive craft from my perspective at the time. And I was on my way down this coast to a village called Kapari Viriolo. We had just received a number of people from Australia to be involved in what we call the Summer of Service. I teamed up with this young man who actually came to faith in a revival in his high school in a place called Sageri. And we were the team, and he was my interpreter, and we were heading out to preach the gospel to all the villages surrounding his village there in the south coast of Papua. It was a 14-hour trip through the night on this double-hull canoe, dodging through the coral heads and wondering whether we were all going to get tipped into the sea when they'd stopped to negotiate a coral head. It was a great time to share the gospel. I left that outreach and went further down the coast. I didn't have my interpreter, and we went to a place called Alatau, and I spent a few days there before returning to Port Moresby. But I remember that the way I got to Alatau was through a large coastal vessel coming out of the tributary right next to Kapari Viriolo, and so I have a dream that one day I'll be on another double-hulled canoe going down the south coast of Papua, and that we will actually enter in to that particular tributary and go and visit again, because the young man that was with me, and I met him recently here in Townsville at our breakfast by the sea, is now Sir Dr. Pukatenma, Minister for Health, AIDS and HIV in the government of Papua New Guinea. And I'm looking to returning, but this time in a medical ship to come and serve and to say thank you for those who cared for me during my time there 48 years ago.
take control. Over the hills and the valleys we go. We've answered the call. Now it's time to show the
We
world.
can run, we will fly.
Rise, a mighty nation. Walk with God in freedom. Every man, every woman and child, from the land to the sea. Lift your voice and sing with me. Victory in unity. We can only win if we're united. One voice, one heart, beating to the sound of the land. One people, one nation, our destiny. This is our time.
Every color, race, and time. Now it's time to show the world we'll fly. Rise, a mighty nation. Walk with God in freedom. Every man, every woman and child, from the land to the sea. Lift your voice and sing with me. Victory in unity. We can only win if we're united. One voice, one heart, beating to the sound of the land. One people, one nation, our destiny. This is our time.
Okay, let's say it again. Pacifica. Oh, a little louder. Pacifica. We were unable to include every ship ministry or every campus around the world. We have very limited space, limited time. But at this moment, what we want to do is to honor all the pioneers. If you were in any pioneering team, maybe first team, second team, doing pioneer work anywhere around the world, we would like to honor you by standing up, please. Anywhere, anyone involved in any pioneering work or ministry within YWAM. We honor you with a clap. Hallelujah. And we want to usher in another major wave of pioneers that will go throughout the nations of the world. God bless you. Thank you.
My name is Robert, and I'm from Papua New Guinea, in the Highlands, and I work in Southeast Asia, and I've got 3 daughters and a wife and That's where we've been for the last 20 years. The Lord appeared in my room in my high school, and it was a vision that I heard, and I was not able to see his face, but he spoke to me during that time and said, "I have chosen you to be a missionary." And I got excited, told my high school teachers, which was a government school, and they thought I was crazy. And then I went and told our pastor that I said, "I want to be a missionary. Where can I be a missionary?" And told my Catholic priest. All of them said, "You cannot be." And the pastor said, "It's only for white men." And so I went to a Western missionary's house, and I knocked in his house for the first time, and I said, "I want to be a missionary just like you." As soon as he opened the door, I've never met him. I just knew that he was a missionary, and he did not open the door for me to come in. He just looked at me and asked a couple of questions, and then said, "Go away." Around the same year, a YWAM team from Hong Kong, the first YWAM team ever to come to my little town. It was quite exciting. I watched them and do this wonderful performance. I was one of the student leaders in my high school, so I invited them to my high school, and during that time, they told me I can be a missionary. The best news I ever heard. And so I went back to my mom, and because I did not have the money for school fees and all that, and I said, God has spoken to me, so I want to go as a missionary. And I asked Mom if she could give me money. And my mom said, "I have no money to give you. I told you to study." And she was not happy that I did not finish my studies. And she said, and I knew that she did not have any money. And this is right in the remote village. And I said, "Mom, you have something that you have with you. You can give me your pig." And for us from Papua New Guinea, especially in the islands, pig is of value to us, of high value to us. So I said, "If you give me the pig, I'll sell it and go and be a missionary."
It's the break of a new dawn. It's the rise of a new hope. All that we know is yet to unfold. All that we have is yet to be told. Arise, my people, and be bold. Arise, my soul, and take hold. Arise and see all that sounds. Arise, mighty nation, the time has come.
Children of the land and sea, tomorrow waits, and now we're free. The thunder will roar, the sky will rise, the land will echo to the voice of tomorrow.
And see all that time. nation, the time has come. Arise, my people, and be bold. Arise, my soul, and take hold. Arise and see all that sounds. Arise, mighty nation, the time has come.
My name is Victor. I come from Papua New Guinea. I love my country. It is so beautiful and so diverse. We are known as the land of the unexpected, the least explored country on earth. We are made up of many different tribes, each with their own traditions. Me and my people live in villages. We live in high mountains, jungles, rivers, and the coast. Though we have much beauty, we are facing very big healthcare challenges. Many of our women die in childbirth. We are one of the highest rates in the world. TB has been declared as a national emergency. Our children are dying of preventable and treatable diseases. Many of us will never see a dentist in our lifetime. Hundreds of thousands of people have low vision or no vision at all.
As I think about just where YWAM is positioned, there's just such an incredible opportunity as we look at the Christian Magna Carta and how do we not only look at the elements of that, but then how do we apply it? As we think about the 7 spheres, as we think about just so many of the wonderful covenants that we have, as we look at our evangelism, our training, our mercy side of it, we are so well positioned to be able to engage into nations in a way that we haven't seen for some time.
There's a dynamic that happens that seems to only happen when you get aboard a ship with an ambassadorial function as it comes into a nation because it's being invited there by the government. You're not coming in through the back door, you're coming through the front door. There's an invitation, there's a welcoming, there's a protocol, and it creates favor and opens doors and then gives access to all the other spheres, education, the government, all kinds of doors open.
Having the medical ship come up to Papua New Guinea, medical ship plays the ambassadorial role very well. And that's what is, for a very long time, YWAM Papua New Guinea was almost non-existent. But the medical ship come in and elevated us to that level where now there's such grace and favor upon us to do something.
So the World Health Organization defines health as not just being the absence of disease, but being the presence of wellness. And that's wellness in a big sense. That's social, cultural, physical, mental, spiritual, that sense of shalom in a biblical worldview. And that really aligns strongly with our sense of striving for life and life to the full, to experience that ourselves and to see that in Papua New Guinea. And it's from that basis that we are striving with all our might to work with communities, to see healthy villages work together for a healthy nation.
Myself and you and Brett Curtis and the now Deputy Prime Minister Charles Abel was on the YWAM PNG, and we were together on outreach, going to the different villages in the Milne Bay area. And during that time, the now Deputy Prime Minister simply asked a question: would you establish a university campus in Alatau? God gives us an open door to really see what it looks like to disciple a nation for real. And as we view that, I believe one of the things that Papua New Guinea offers us is a way to understand, how do we reach a nation? How do we engage in the different spheres?
And I think what Papua New Guinea really offers us as a mission is something very unique. And we can have the ship, we can have the university and all these things. But the beauty of it is, at the end of the day, we can help individuals, but thousands of individuals that make up a nation.
I talked to one of the leading educators in Papua New Guinea, and he mentioned that the university had such a potential to serve the nation because of its emphasis on faith and also the modular and flexible educational philosophy. And so he really felt like it was a missing key. And when I began realizing that we really have a key for the development of the country overall, then why wouldn't we want to respond to that?
Papua New Guinea is a Christian country and they want to be known as that. So it's such a soft landing for us as youth of the mission to learn and to grow and to figure out how do we do this. And we are seeing this. It's not something that we're aspiring to, it's something that we're currently walking in. And I just love the fact that we can actually walk in partnership with many different groups, not as the lead group within PNG, but as a part, with so many different aspects or entities within Youth of the Mission. So it's quite an exciting time, and I look forward to seeing all that God's going to do.
If we can believe for 10% of the student age population in the nation, and that's a big number, but could we believe for that? And as we see that coming into reality, we would be able to really see a tipping point in the nation overall. Because when you look at the nation in itself, it's one of the most populated Pacific Island nations. It has great resources in people, as well as in natural resources. Papua New Guinea is positioned for leadership. And as we are able to get around that 10% mark, I believe we'll see a tipping point where the leadership of the nation will go far beyond just the discipling of the nation itself, but it'll go to the four corners of the earth. There are great opportunities as we come together, as we join, as we unify around a common goal. It will establish a prototype and really a beachhead that we can really understand how to really roll through the rest of the nation.
I really believe the nation is ready, just waiting for something to trigger it. And we're going to see a band of missionaries that will go as foot soldiers, walking the breadth and the depth of our whole nation, Papua New Guinea. There is a move, an undercurrent right now happening in the country as I speak to you, and that's what excites me. I want to be part of that.
This goes beyond the university, it goes beyond ships, it goes beyond YWAM. But I believe that we have a key part to play. Through the callings that we have as a mission, it's really about all of us coming together and saying, here we are, Lord, use us. And as we serve, we also will learn. And we will become more and more versed in really truly following the command of Christ to disciple all nations.
I want to acknowledge our good Lord and the missionary spirit that has inspired the many fantastic people who have dedicated themselves to this venture. You have been moved to lives of service in mission and outreach to others in need of physical and spiritual need. This inspired effort is touching many thousands of lives in our country. It is a true manifestation of faith in action. It was my great-grandfather that came with the London Missionary Society to Milne Bay and Papua New Guinea in 1890. Your concept, YWAM, in bringing international medical professional equipment and medicines to people in our more remote areas that are lucky to see any services at all. You are shining a light into those areas, bringing hope and performing miracles. Simple things like restoring eyesight. Incredibly, most of you are volunteers, which is amazing. The involvement of local medical staff and training of other young Papua New Guineans on board the ship, as well as working through the existing medical network, is building capacity and transferring skills. As we speak, my daughter Nikki is on the MV Pacific Link in West New Britain, whilst on uni break, doing many good things for her country through YWAM. My whole family spent 2 weeks on the MV YWAM in Western Province, And I myself have spent a week on the ship as well in my district, and what a privilege. The YWAM teams of young people that make excursions out into the villages to help in practical ways and also share the experiences of faith is building relationships and creating valuable life experiences for our people and yours. Separately, as I close, I want to inform you that we have offered land, and John is well aware of this, that we have offered land in Alotau Township, quite valuable land in the heart of town, similar to this beautiful campus here in Townsville, to YWAM to establish a University of Nations campus. And I look forward to progressing this concept. And, this is our mission together, the YWAM mission, and let's continue it into the future together. May God bless you all. Don't forget, please come and visit Papua New Guinea. God bless. Thank you very much.
You have your dream, that's all you see, and don't let anybody tell you that it can't be.
No, don't give up. Yes, you might fall. I believe in you. So stand up tall. And when the winds come strong and you can't go on, just take a breath and give it all you got. You don't need all the lights, you're a shining star. Everything that you need is inside your heart. You're flying, you're soaring. You are beyond the pain, you're almost there, keep going. You are the one.
I represent my people, my tribe. I fly my flag with pride. I will stand side by side for the pain and the glory. We will unite. Sons and daughters of this land, come together and arise. Papua New Guinea, you stop the level below me.
I am stronger, I am faster, I am better than yesterday. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, 'cause I am Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea.
I am the one. You are the one. Together we can. I am the one. You are the one. Together we
Thank you, True. Thank you, True.
Just amazed. First of all, if you ask me to dance, that's when you know you're in heaven. Because I cannot dance. And if you see me singing, I know that's when you know you are in heaven as well. Because I cannot do either.
তাই আপনারা যদি বলেন যে আমাকে নাচতে আমি নাচতে পারি না, তাই বুঝবেন যে আপনি তখন স্বর্গে আছেন। যদি বলেন গান গাইতে, আমি গান গাইতে পারি না, যখন আমার গান শুনবেন বুঝবেন আপনি স্বর্গে আছেন।
And this is Silas, my brother Silas from Bangladesh.
বাংলাদেশ থেকে সাইলাস।
And I'm Robert
এবং
from
আমি
Papua New
রবার্ট
Guinea.
পাপুয়া নিউ গিনি থেকে।
But part of it is that I've married the land of Bangladesh with my wife and kids. And Bangladesh is part of us as well.
এবং আমরা বাংলাদেশকে বিয়ে করেছি, আমার স্ত্রী, আমার পরিবার সহ তারা আমার অংশ।
And it's just wonderful to celebrate Jesus.
এবং যিশুকে উদযাপন করা কত না সুন্দর।
All that is there is a presentation of the kingdom of God.
এবং যা আছে সেটা হচ্ছে ঈশ্বরের রাজ্যের প্রতিস্থাপন
It
করা।
talks about the goodness of God, how God makes us someone where we are nobody.
এবং এটা ঈশ্বরের আনন্দ যে তিনি আমরা কেউ না, তিনি আমাদেরকে অনেক বড় করেন।
In this picture that you will see,
যে ছবিটা আপনারা দেখবেন,
I grew up in the land in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, not the coastal areas.
এবং পাপুয়া নিউ গিনির সেই উচ্চ অঞ্চলে আমি বড় হয়েছি।
Civilization has just entered into my area in the late 1950s.
এবং 1950-এর শেষে সুসমাচার আমাদের দেশে।
And I was one of the first, and my family were the first generation that become Christian. Actually, all of us got baptized as a Catholic at one time.
এবং আমার
whole tribe.
পরিবার তারা যারা প্রথম যিশুকে গ্রহণ করেছে ক্যাথলিক পরিবার থেকে।
An amazing evangelism tools the Catholic did. All of us, the whole tribe, got baptized one time.
এবং ক্যাথলিকরা তারা অনেক সুন্দর প্রচারের মাধ্যমে তারা আমাদের পুরো গ্রামকে তাদের যিশুর পক্ষে এনেছে।
Something that we YWAMers can learn.
এবং এই আত্মিক জাগরণ চলছে।
Sorry, that was supposed to be a joke. But what I'm going to share with you is this is where I came from.
এবং এই স্থান থেকে আমি এসেছি।
This is and we become a believer, we become a Christian. All of us become a Christian. Yeah, and got baptized as an infant for me.
এবং আমরা সকলে গ্রামের সকলে একসঙ্গে খ্রিস্টান হয়েছি এবং ছোটবেলায় আমার শিশু বাপ্তিস্ম হয়েছে।
And then I remember going to my Catholic church one day. And my father passed away.
আমার বাবা যখন মারা গেলেন আমি আমার ক্যাথলিক চার্চে গেলাম।
And there was a presentation or there was a final exam that we need to sit for as a grade 6 student.
এবং তখন ক্লাস 6 এ পড়ি আমি, আর তখন পরীক্ষা সামনে।
We had no electricity, we had nothing. So I did not study well. In 2 days we're going to have the exam.
এবং মাত্র 2 দিন পরে পরীক্ষা হবে, ইলেকট্রিসিটি নাই।
And so I remember going to my Catholic church. And in my pocket was 15 toya, which is equivalent to 15 cents.
আর তাই আমার পকেটে আমি চার্চে গেলাম এবং 15 তালা ছিল, 15 সেন্টস।
And put it in the offering and said, Lord, I buy your wisdom.
এবং আমি দান বাক্সে দিয়ে বললাম আমি তোমার প্রজ্ঞা আমি কিনে নেই।
Don't tell your kids that. And I said, I buy your wisdom. And I said, if I pass, I will be a priest the rest of my life.
এবং আমি বললাম আমি যদি পাস করি তাহলে আমার সারা জীবন আমি প্রিস্ট হব।
It was a prayer that was genuine.
কিন্তু এই প্রার্থনাটা হৃদয় থেকে ছিল।
It was a prayer that I believe that God was there, that even as a first generation believer, God is there.
এবং আমার বিশ্বাস যে আমরা যদিও প্রথম প্রজন্মের খ্রিস্টান কিন্তু ঈশ্বর সেখানে ছিলেন।
And I prayed that and said, Lord, if I pass, I will be a priest the rest of my life.
এবং আমি বললাম আমি যদি পাস করি আমি আমার সারা জীবন যাজকত্ব করব।
Quite amazing, but we sat for the exam. 2 months later the result came.
এবং পরীক্ষার 2 মাস পরে উত্তর আসলো।
And I was one of the first students been called up to get my certificate. I did very well.
এবং আমার সার্টিফিকেট পেলাম প্রথম সারির স্টুডেন্ট হিসাবে।
And that's when I knew that I will be a priest.
এবং সেই সময় থেকে জানতাম যে আমাকে যাজক হতে হবে।
It's amazing God hear the prayers of people in a place where we think it's the last frontiers.
এবং এইটা আনন্দে যে ঈশ্বর তিনি আমাদের প্রার্থনা শোনেন যখন আমরা মনে করি যে এর পরে আর যাওয়ার
In
উপায়
the
নেই।
last frontiers, God was there already.
এবং শেষ প্রান্তে ঈশ্বর তিনি প্রস্তুত অবস্থায় ছিলেন
And that God was speaking to me, and God heard my prayer.
এবং ঈশ্বর তিনি আমার হৃদয়ের প্রার্থনা
And
শুনলেন
part of that was to go to one of the best high school at that time.
এবং আমি তখন সবচেয়ে ভালো একটা হাই স্কুলে গিয়েছি
And went and studied, and you saw in the video, it was a YWAM team from Hong Kong. It was a fit team that told me I can be a missionary.
এবং হংকং থেকে ফিট টিম এসেছিল তারা বলেছিল যে আমি মিশনারি হতে পারি
And that this village boy from this primitive place can be a missionary, and it's a YWAM team, a group of 19 years old, 20 years old.
এবং এই গ্রামের ছেলে সে মিশনারি হতে পারে এটা অবিশ্বাস্য একটা কথা
We represent about 100 nations, and different nations that we think, oh, there's no hope in that nation.
এবং আমরা বলছি যে আমরা 100 জাতি থেকে এসেছি কিন্তু অনেক জাতি আছে আমরা বলছি যে কোনো আশা নাই
And we think that and in this room we think that, oh, my nation is so difficult and it cannot be done.
আমরা হয়তো মনে করি যে আমার জাতি এটা এত কঠিন এটা সম্ভব না
No, there is hope.
না আশা আছে
Because God has done that in my life.
কারণ ঈশ্বর আমার জীবনে তা
And
করেছেন
it was the YWAM team that said you can do it.
এবং YWAM দল বলেছে তোমার পক্ষে করা সম্ভব
And in that belief that I went and approached different people and said you cannot be a missionary.
এবং এই বিশ্বাস নিয়ে আমি বলেছিলাম কারো কারো কাছে তারা বলেছে সম্ভব না মিশনারি হওয়া
Sometimes we don't understand what God is doing.
অনেক সময় আমরা বুঝতে পারি না ঈশ্বর কি করছেন
In the Chronicles it talks about the children of Israel understood the time and knew what to do.
এবং বংশাবলীতে বলা হচ্ছে যে সেই সময়ে তারা জানতো যে ঈশ্বর এখন কি করছেন
And as a YWAM family we are in a very interesting time.
এবং YWAM পরিবার হিসেবে আমরা খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ সময়
There's a move that and a challenge that coming before us.
এবং একটা চ্যালেঞ্জ আমাদের সামনে আছে একটা
And a season that is ahead that is going to be far greater than other seasons that we ever had.
এবং একটা কাল সামনে আসছে যেটা আরো অনেক বড় কাল
And
আমাদের
a multiplication that will happen that we never had before.
এবং যে বহুগুণে বৃদ্ধি যা আগে কখনো হয় নাই
And even what we saw in Papua New Guinea and honor the sheep and the ministry that they are doing.
এবং আমরা পাপুয়া নিউ গিনির সেই জাহাজ দেখলাম যে পরিচর্যা তারা
But
করছে
this is a small taste of what God wants to build, bridges that God wants to build through the nations.
কিন্তু এটা খুব ছোট একটা কাজ যার মধ্যে দিয়ে ঈশ্বর বিভিন্ন জাতির মধ্যে সেই সেতু বন্ধন করতে চান
And I am growing old.
এবং আমার বয়স হয়ে যাচ্ছে
And I've got 3 daughters who are 24 years old and 22 years and 20.
এবং আমার 3 মেয়ে আছে 24 22 এবং 20 বছর
And I've been thinking about generation, looking at generations.
আমি প্রজন্মের দিকে তাকানোর কথা চিন্তা করছি
And one of the things that God has been speaking to me and to us as Papua New Guinea and as we build the bridges to the nation.
এবং ঈশ্বর আমাকে এবং পাপুয়া নিউ গিনিকে যে বাক্য দিচ্ছেন যেন আমরা বিভিন্ন জাতির সঙ্গে সেই সেতু বন্ধন করি
Is that there's 3 areas that God has been speaking into my heart and as us as Papua New Guinea.
এবং পাপুয়া নিউ গিনি এবং আমাকে ঈশ্বর 3টা বিষয়ে কথা বলছেন
And with the University of the Nation and the SHIP partnership and the partnership with YWAM PNG.
এবং ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ দ্য নেশনস শিপ এবং পিএনজি একসঙ্গে
And one of the first thing that I feel or sense with God is speaking to us is that we need to think multi-generational continuity.
এবং ঈশ্বর যেটা বলছেন যে আমাদের বিভিন্ন প্রজন্মের মিশ্রণে এই কাজ করা দরকার
We need to look beyond us, look beyond what we're going to pass on.
এবং শুধু আমাদের দিকে তাকানো না কিন্তু আমাদের পরবর্তী প্রজন্মে কি দিতে পারি
And that my children's generation will continue
এবং আমাদের প্রজন্ম পরবর্তী প্রজন্ম তারা এই কাজ চালিয়ে যাবে
with the love for God and with that love for missions and what God has for them.
এবং ঈশ্বর তাদের জন্য কি রেখেছেন এবং ঈশ্বরের প্রতি ভালোবাসা
But I feel like God was speaking to us as we partner into the nations.
এবং আমরা যখন বিভিন্ন জাতির সঙ্গে একসঙ্গে কাজ করছি
But to think multi-generation and a continuity that we need to see.
ঈশ্বর বলছেন যেন আমরা বিভিন্ন প্রজন্মের সংমিশ্রণে এই বহুগুণের বৃদ্ধি দেখতে পাই
Looking at the future and do all that we do well.
এবং আমরা ভবিষ্যতের দিকে তাকাই এবং যা করছি যেন ভালোভাবে করতে পারি
That we do it well with excellence before God, in our worship to God.
যা করি যেন উৎকৃষ্টভাবে ঈশ্বরের আরাধনার জন্য করি
That I'm doing what I'm doing. God has been challenging us, even for us working with Papua New Guinea. Look, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what do we want to see continue?
এবং আমরা যারা পাপুয়া নিউ গিনিতে কাজ করছি ঈশ্বর বলছেন 10 বছর আগামী 20 বছর দেখো আমি কি করতে চাই
How about 50 years from now?
অথবা এখন থেকে 50 বছর আমি কি করতে
To be
চাই
able to see something change and done that we might not even see now, but generation it continues.
কিন্তু এমন কিছু যা এখন আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি না কিন্তু আমাদের পরবর্তী প্রজন্ম সেটা চালিয়ে নিয়ে যাবে
And that has been something that God has been really challenging us, even as we look at the future.
এবং আমরা যখন ভবিষ্যতের দিকে তাকাচ্ছি ঈশ্বর আমাদেরকে সেই চ্যালেঞ্জ দিচ্ছেন
One of the picture that I'm going to show is something that we're doing in Bangladesh.
একটা ছবি দেখাতে চাই যেটা আমরা বাংলাদেশে করছি
And this is a dream that we have.
এবং এই স্বপ্ন আমাদের আছে
A dream that we have to see a training center in Bangladesh.
এবং আমাদের স্বপ্ন যেন বাংলাদেশে একটা প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র দেখতে
That
পাই
would be to see a movement of Bangladeshis raised up as missionaries within the nation, but also beyond the nation.
এবং এমন একটা আন্দোলন যেখানে বাংলাদেশ থেকে এই নতুন প্রজন্মের নেতৃত্ব উঠবে যেন তারা শুধু বাংলাদেশ না অন্য জায়গায় ছড়িয়ে
That
যাবে
not only look at our needs, but look beyond.
এবং শুধু বাংলাদেশ না কিন্তু আরো দূরে ছড়িয়ে
But
যাবে
one of the words that God has spoken to us as a leadership is don't focus on the property.
কিন্তু ঈশ্বর আমাদেরকে যেটা দেখাচ্ছেন নেতৃত্ব হিসেবে এই দিকে যেন আমরা না তাকাই এই
Every step that you do is very important.
এবং যে কটা পদক্ষেপ আমরা নেই এটা খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ
Because as a Bangladeshi leadership, it's great to have Silas translating with me because it's part of that leadership.
এবং বাংলাদেশ নেতৃত্বে আমরা একসঙ্গে কাজ করছি
And that every step that we take before that property is very important because God wants to show us principles of how we can continue in the future generation.
এবং এই সম্পত্তির আগে প্রত্যেকটা পদক্ষেপ কিভাবে নেব এটা খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ যেন ঈশ্বর এটাকে ব্যবহার করতে পারে
So one of the things God spoke to us is Bangladesh people say is one of the poorest nation.
আমাদেরকে ঈশ্বর যা বলেছেন মানুষ বলে বাংলাদেশ দরিদ্রতম দেশের একটি
Actually Bangladesh is not poor.
আমি এটা বিশ্বাস করি না
I don't like that word.
আমি এটা পছন্দ করি না শুনতে
Because Bangladesh is so rich.
কারণ বাংলাদেশ অনেক ধনী
And we felt God was saying to take an offering from within Bangladesh before you go out and take offering from other countries.
এবং আমরা এই বাক্য পেয়েছি যে অন্য দেশের কাছে যাওয়ার আগে নিজের দেশ থেকে যেন আমরা সেই উপহার সংগ্রহ করি
The money must come from within the land.
এবং এই দেশের ভিতর থেকে এই অর্থ আসা দরকার
Let it become the nation story. Let it become a Bangladeshi story. Let it become the people's story.
এই গল্প যেন বাংলাদেশের গল্প হয় বাংলাদেশের মানুষের গল্প হয়
Let them talk about what Jesus did, not a foreigner did.
এবং তারা যেন বলতে পারে যিশু আমাদের মধ্যে দিয়ে কি করেছে একজন বিদেশী না
In their lives.
তাদের জীবনে
In their lives, how they saw God's provision.
কিভাবে আমরা ঈশ্বরের যোগান দেখেছি
And
আমাদের
for
জীবনে
generations they're going to tell the story.
এবং প্রজন্ম থেকে প্রজন্ম এই গল্প তারা বলে যাবে
I love the Bible.
এবং এই বাক্য যা আমরা পছন্দ করি
Because it talks about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and the stories goes on and what God did.
এবং
Ishaq
যাকবের জীবনে এবং এরকম গল্প যেন আমাদের জীবনে থেকে যায়
And as we were
এবং আমরা যখন হাঁটছি
man my goodness it says wrap it up.
সামনে বলছে তাড়াতাড়ি শেষ করতে
Wrap it up. In Papua New Guinea, wrap it up means 2 hours. In Bangladesh, wrap it up means 1 hour.
হতে পারে 1 ঘন্টা শেষ করতে সময় লাগবে
Because we have traffic jam.
কারণ বাংলাদেশে অনেক ট্রাফিক জ্যাম আছে
So in order to, brothers and sisters, family,
পরিবার
I've got 2 other things, but I'm not going to share more.
আমি দুইটা আছে কিন্তু বলতে চাই না আরো
But we took that offering.
এবং আমরা যখন ওই দান সংগ্রহ করলাম
Part of that is wanted to make it a Bangladeshi story.
উদ্দেশ্য ছিল যেন এটা বাংলাদেশের গল্প হয়
That Bangladeshis would tell from 50 years,
50 বছর পরে যেন বাংলাদেশে
100 years what God did, when how God provided.
100 বছর পরে ঈশ্বর কি করেছেন
And they will celebrate Jesus and love Jesus so much.
এবং তারা যিশুকে তারা উদযাপন করবে ভালোবাসবে
And that's what our prayer was.
এবং এইটা ছিল আমাদের প্রার্থনা
We took an offering.
আমরা সেই উপহার নিলাম
15 to 20% of the money for the land, buying of the land, came from within the Bangladesh.
15 থেকে 20% বাংলাদেশ থেকে এসেছে
15 to 20%.
15 থেকে 20 ভাই
Our key pastor stood up in one minister's meeting that I went.
এবং একটা মিটিং এ আমাদের একজন পালক তিনি উঠে দাঁড়ালেন
And he said, YWAM has done history in Bangladesh.
বাংলাদেশে YWAM ইতিহাস তৈরি করেছে
No international organization has raised money from within the country.
কোনো আন্তর্জাতিক প্রতিষ্ঠান তারা দেশের ভিতর থেকে অর্থ আনে নাই
As we look at what God is doing, brothers and sisters,
ঈশ্বর
family,
যা করছেন পরিবার
let's look at generation.
আসুন আমরা প্রজন্মের দিকে তাকাই
As we look at what God has done in my life in Papua New Guinea,
ঈশ্বর আমার জীবনে পাপুয়া নিউ গিনিতে যা করেছেন
it was something God was doing.
ঈশ্বর যা করছিলেন
God is building the bridges to the nations right now.
ঈশ্বর তিনি এক জাতির সঙ্গে আরেক জাতির
And
মধ্যে
the
সেতু বন্ধন
bridges will
করছেন
come over to Asia, to the Middle East, and to Africa,
এবং সেই সেতুগুলো
North America, South America.
এশিয়া আফ্রিকা সাউথ আমেরিকা নর্থ আমেরিকা আসবে
It's going to be very unique, very different.
এবং এটা আলাদা হবে দেখতে
But let's have a heart of God to see how God sees it.
আসুন আমাদের ঈশ্বর হৃদয় থাকুক যেন ঈশ্বর যেভাবে
Understand the
দেখেন
time that we are in.
কোন সময় আমরা আছি
Understand what God is doing.
এবং ঈশ্বর যা করছেন
Look into the future.
ভবিষ্যতের দিকে তাকায়
Something greater than us.
আমাদের থেকে অনেক বড় কিছু তিনি করছেন
I want to close by saying it was great when we honor Lauren and Darlene.
এবং আমার এইভাবে শেষ করব লরেন ডার্লিং তাদেরকে আমরা যখন
On the first day,
প্রথম দিনে
we honored them.
আমরা তাদের সম্মান জানিয়েছি
And Lauren came up and said, "This is great, but let's give a big hand to Jesus."
এবং লরেন এসে বলেছিল আসুন আমরা যিশুর জন্য হাততালি দেই
Is that amazing? Let's give a big hand to Jesus because all that we do,
আসুন আমরা যিশুকে
all that we are,
আমরা যা করি আমরা যা
all that we are is for Jesus.
যা কিছু করি যিশুর জন্য
We can have a big building,
আমাদের অনেক বড় মিটিং হতে পারে
but if Jesus is not there,
তো যিশু যদি সেখানে না থাকে
what a worthless building. Oh Lord, we need your grace.
ঈশ্বর আমরা তোমার
We
অনুগ্রহ চাই
need your grace to understand your heart.
আমাদের তোমার হৃদয় বোঝার জন্য সেই অনুগ্রহ দরকার
Understand what you want to do in our nations before us today,
তুমি আমাদের জাতির মধ্যে কি করতে চাও
so that only you
যেন মাত্র তুমি
can bring transformation to the world.
রূপান্তর আনতে পারো এই পৃথিবীতে
Could we stand, please?
আসুন দয়া করুন
And John can finish up with a word of prayer.
How do we respond to this? How do we respond to this?
আমরা এইভাবে কিভাবে সাড়া দেব
It occurs to me that I am part of an unreached people group.
এবং আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে আমি একটা আউটরিচ জনগোষ্ঠীর অংশ
A Pākehā Kiwi from Aotearoa, New Zealander.
এবং আমি নিউজিল্যান্ড কিউই থেকে এই জায়গায় এসেছি
And I know Maori Jesus and I love Maori Jesus.
এবং আমি মাওরি যিশুকে চিনি এবং তাকে আমি ভালোবাসি
And I admire American Jesus.
এবং আমেরিকান যিশুকেও আমার ভালো লাগে
And all the revelation of Jesus that's in the peoples of the earth.
এবং ইউরোপে যিশু কিভাবে প্রকাশিত হয়েছেন জানি
But there are 100 of us and we are the unreached peoples that have not yet seen fully Papua New Guinea Jesus.
এবং আমরা অনেকে আছি এখানে যারা পাপুয়া নিউ গিনির যিশুকে এখনো পরিষ্কারভাবে দেখি নাই
And you and Winterford and you are apostles to Asia, to India and Bangladesh. And your people are beautiful to us. And we bless you. And we need you. And we thank God for the revelation of Jesus within you, which is not within our inheritance. You are unique. And so from the nations, we call you out into the fullness of your purpose from generation to generation. because the Lord has beautified you with rich treasure. And we need you, and we honor you. How many other people feel that?
Who's been blessed by such a great story of what God's been doing? It's amazing to see what God's doing in the Pacific, what God's doing in South Asia. And it's amazing to see how God is bringing us together to seek Him. So who's excited for lunch? The food's been amazing. Before we go to lunch, we have a couple of quick announcements. The next announcements will be made in the native languages. And so if you are from these countries, just listen up.
បាទសូមជម្រាបសួរជម្រាបព័ត៌មានដល់បងប្អូនដែលមកប្រទេសស៊ីដូចស្រុកខ្មែរនៅក្នុងនឹងដែរព្រោះថ្ងៃស្អែកជាថ្ងៃបេសកកម្មសាញ់បត្យានេះសូមជូនព័ត៌មានបងប្អូននៅស៊ីប្រទេសខ្មែរសូមទៅយកកញ្ចប់ថវិកានៅខាងមុខតុកព័ត៌មានគេដាក់សាញ់បត្យានេះយើងអាចទទួលបានកញ្ចប់ថវិកាដែលជួយយើងផ្គត់ផ្គង់ខាងថ្ងៃត្រង់និងហាពេលល្ងាចបាទកុំភ្លេចអរគុណច្រើន
শাইন পাতায়া সেখানে আমাদের জন্য সি দেশের যারা আছেন তাদের জন্য বিশেষ করে বাংলাদেশ থেকে যারা এসেছেন তাদের জন্য দুপুরের খাবার এবং রাতের খাবারের ব্যবস্থা করা হয়েছে তাই দয়া করে আমাদের ডান দিকে শাইন পাতায়ের একটা বুথ আছে সেখানে দেখা করবেন এবং সেখান থেকে আমাদের খাবারের ব্যবস্থা যেদিন আমরা আউটরিচে যাব করা হয়েছে ধন্যবাদ
ขอให้พี่น้องที่มาจากประเทศซาซีไปหาบัตรอาหารสำหรับงานออกประกาศมืออื่นซ้ายพัทยาใดที่บูธซ้ายพัทยาภายในมือนี้ค่ะ
I want to invite you to join my husband Lauren, myself, David Hamilton, and a whole team of other people to be together for the DNA. We're looking forward to coming there, having a huge family reunion, and hearing from God together. You don't want to miss it. Be there.
I'm excited. We're going to South America. South America's having 2 DNAs in a row in Curitiba and also in Pichilemu, Chile. So Brazil and Chile. And we're going to be there 2 weeks each place. And it's going to be Darlene leading along with me and with David Hamilton. Well, you'll have some others too that'll be coming in on this. But there's going to be hundreds coming. Don't miss out on it. This is something that is really wonderful in the latter part of October and the 1st of November. We're planning to be there with you. Don't miss it. Plan on either Curitiba or Pichilemu for the DNA